Welcome to Get Jaby. I'm your host, Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi there.
We're gonna look at interrogating Zuckerberg, a bad lip reading. Two things right up front. I didn't get to watch the entirety of the trial of Zuckerberg.
How long was it?
It was like 2 days long, like two
damn.
whole days. Or I think it was 2 days, I don't actually know. But I started watching it and I'm like, yeah, I'll just look at the highlights. Like, I wanted to watch it and be engaged the whole time, but I had things to do, like making videos. But I did look at the highlights and there was a lot of just silliness going on in this thing. Also, I love bad lip reading videos. I am a huge fan of their stuff. I just love what they do. It's genius. To combine these two things, you know, this court hearing that I was very interested in watching, and bad lip reading, a very talented, mysterious dude. Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Thanks for coming, Mr. Zuckerberg. How are you?
Just a sec. Mom, could you get me my Frodo ring? I want it here.
Why does his hand look so
Hey,
small?
now that we got the ring sorted out, we can move on to the topic at hand, which is the concerns that have been raised. Need water, okay? Now, as I was saying, there's been a lot of concern about people's private information and how... Okay, how about you just chug the water? I want you to cut it off. Are you blowing bubbles? I'm gonna have to spank you. Okay, now you good? I swear, it's like he's got a mask on. Listen, kid, blink if you're not a lamp. Wow. We'd like you to make a little smile just to show that you can. Heavens, that's just horrible. Stop that, son. For the rest of the day, will you not do that, please? So I have to admit that all of this is just boring as beans. And what are we talking about? And what am I going to ask? It was about, oh yeah. So when I have the Facebook, then do I also have the internet?
Yeah, you do. I'd just like everyone to know that my van is for sale.
Great.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but if you guys could kind of like drive it and stuff, then I'm sure you'd want to buy it. No, wait, because this van, I mean, it's special. No, hey, I'll send you a picture and you'll say, I want this in my driveway. No, please don't send anything. Okay, well, I guess you're stupid. It's just a van. I told you it's a special van.
Do you think that I might need to shave my head for a Frenchman? Because some people have said to me, shave your head. What do you think?
Just so you know, I will not do that.
Okay.
Mr. Zuckerman.
Zuckerberg. Someone actually said that.
Oh, really?
Do you agree? Yes. Well, why are we even here then? Senator Graham?
Judy, you were meant to be only with me. Da, 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 da. Judy, you were born in Senator Graham, do you got any questions for me, or? Oh, shoot. See, what happened there is you guys caught me singing Judy in Moonlight because I really like it. It's a really great song because Judy Moonlight is what the song is about.
Hey, ask me something.
Do you like your heart rate?
I'll get back to you about that.
It's my turn. Can we be friends later?
No, I mean, no, we probably shouldn't.
Would you say that if I lived in a treehouse? I doubt it. Have you ever smelled a girl's feet? Because I imagine me and you could be doing that at some point.
No.
What's the problem, little friend?
Don't try to get in my Porsche again.
But I really like you.
Mr. Facebook Man.
Mr.
Lift your hand out like this, boy. Swing it out like this.
You think it's hard? Believe me, I could hold a hand in the air all day.
You see it?
I see it. It's tradition where I'm from to stare at the outstretched hand.
That's for having your hair like that. Hey, I'll go, bro. Do you worry about those little weenies you get from Barb from downstairs? Oh, I do not want that to be a thing. Hey, really, man, I think people will find you more fun if you open your mind about the little weenies. I doubt that. Over here. Sorry, kid, I forget your name.
Bojang Bugami.
Bugami, that's weird. Hey, what is that? Flemish or French or Japanese or Anglo?
Yup.
Okay. Good hang, buddy.
Cool hang. You have a beanhead. Well, really, that's great. That kind of reminds me of how I knew Einstein back when I was just a kid. I would go to his apartment and dude had a green beanbag.
I wish that was right.
Yeah, and he had this deal where you could also make all the chocolate milk you liked. You know, I can tell you what Einstein would have said about Facebook. Horse manure pile. That's cool. Turd satchel. Now, remember, those are Einstein's words.
Hey, Mark. Do you have a painful screw?
No, do not.
Well, you will in time.
This one was less random and more focused. And what's funny to me is that some of the questions that were in there were about as nuts as some of the actual questions he was asked. Obviously, this is hyperbolic in the effort of humor, but the thing about it is some of the questions that they were asking him, it's like they just weren't prepared. The way they were making fun of the people who were on the panel, it's like, yeah, they were that dumb. They were that dumb when they were asking him questions. Some of the things like, someone didn't even know his name. They said Zuckerman or something. It's like,
Right.
Do you
know what you're doing
do
here?
you know what your job is? Your job is to know what's going on and ask the appropriate questions because you've got constituents, you've got people that you represent. Come on now.
Well, I mean, how many of them are on Facebook?
They don't have to be on Facebook, but they're there to represent their people, and so it's their job to know what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. It just kind of feels like they don't really know what's going on. Like it's not their thing, which they should know because they're there.
There were moments where I couldn't laugh because it's like, well, no, that was about as crazy as it was in the real Senate hearing. That's what's so sad and unfortunate here. I'm like, the Zuckerman wasn't even a joke. That's actually something that was said. It's almost like they were trying to figure out what Facebook was and how to use it while they were talking to him.
Yeah, it's like, you should know that.
I thought this was great.
Some of the things they were saying were just so random. Mark Zuckerberg himself, sometimes he just looks like he's an android.
He does look like a weird guy.
Yeah. Like,
he does look. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That he looks like a weird fella. He looks like an android. He just came out of the fucking robot making machine.
Do you know human emotions yet?
Like something out of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
A replicant.
Nope.
But I mean, that's just good fodder for jokes.
They didn't make fun of it too much.
No, just a little. That was enough.
I think they could have made fun of it more. It looks like an animal in the wild, just like waiting.
He kind of was though. It's probably why he was drinking so much water. He was probably like really, really nervous.
Yeah.
All these like grown-ups.
I've watched Mark Zuckerberg's speeches and whatnot, and I think I like what he stands for. He's a very optimistic guy. I don't know that I like all his execution. Obviously, like this whole Facebook thing, this snafu that happened is obviously not ideal. And I think that some of what he says covers up some other ulterior motives. Nothing that would be any different than any one of us. Anybody else in the world who's in the exact same position would be doing exactly what he's doing, is all I mean to say. Well, on the outside I go, that's kind of screwy, Zuckerberg. I'd probably be doing the same thing, and anyone else would too. He's just trying to keep his company one of the biggest global empires in the world. I mean, who wouldn't if you're in that position? I think my favorite bit was the guy trying to sell the van. Like, no, you'll like it. You'll see the picture, and then you'll say, I want that van
in my driveway.
And then I like the part where he goes, where are you from? Canada, America, Japan, Brazil? He's like, yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use from now on. When people are like, oh, where are you from? Are you from here, here? Yep.
Yeah, just say yes. They'll have that weird expression. You'll give them that expression right back. Yes.
All the things.
You want to ask me a question? How's your heart feeling? I'll get back to you. It's just kind of sad because that satire feels very real, where a question that should be answered immediately on both sides of the conversation in this Senate hearing, there were questions that should have been answered right away that weren't. And it's just kind of weird that they weren't answered right away. There were certain questions that Mark Zuckerberg couldn't answer about his company. And I forget what they were exactly, but to see him say, I'll have to get back to you because I don't know, I was like, I feel like you should know that. You're the CEO. Like, why don't you know those numbers? And you're coming to a Senate hearing, like, those are some things. But some of them I forgave. That moment where you know, Zuckerberg asks him, how's your heart? And the guy goes, I'll get back to you on that. That just illustrates on the reverse end what happened during the Senate hearing, that, and just with politics in general, how these very simple questions are asked that don't get answers right away. And it's like, but they should have answers. A lot of these questions that are asked in Washington in general, and even to Zuckerberg in this hearing, there were some questions that were asked. It's like, you should know the answer to that. I'm not sure why you didn't.
Well, I remember from what little I saw of it that there were questions posed to Mark Zuckerberg, and he'd be like, oh, let me get that information from my people and I will have that to you shortly, you know, like, or tomorrow, or whatever the hell.
Well, the one thing I give him credit for is that he's a very polite individual. He's a very zeros and ones, binary kind of guy. Like, I want to make sure I give you exactly the correct information. I do not want this to be messed up. So I'll get back to you with the exact number that you're asking about, with the exact information you're asking about.
Right.
So I can respect it in that regard. So I get it. I get what you're saying. I think. I don't even know.
I'm just saying, everyone's doing that. Everyone's all like afraid to give the wrong answer. So better not to say anything at all.
It's kind of a funny world we live in now, huh? Man, you just sent me on this kind of weird philosophical mind journey just now. I'm like, wow, it's kind of sad, the world we live in. Like, we can't confidently say anything anymore because very quickly we can fact check it on Wikipedia and be like, no, you're wrong, stats say this.
Or you accidentally insult someone, or you're suddenly accidentally a sexist, racist, whatever.
Yeah. All the
All the
isms. It's terrible. It's gonna have a rubber band effect, I'm telling you. Eventually we're just gonna explode into chaos of insulting each other left and right because we can't deal with all the restrictions anymore. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Check out her Instagram. She is the only person allowed to have nude photos, and there is plenty. I have an Instagram as well. There are no nude photos, worry not. And yes, I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.